October 8, 2010 is a day I will never forget. I was on my way home from a friend's house and realized I was going the wrong way on the highway. I was going towards Lawrence instead of going towards Manhattan, which is where my house is. I took the first exit that I could find and realized it was a toll booth. My first instinct told me to just drive right through it, and so I did because I was impaired and I wasn't thinking. I drove right through it and then I regretted it because I thought there was cameras there, so I turned around, and when I turned around, my back right tire ran into the curb. The toll lady got out of her booth and came to talk to me. She asked if I had been drinking and driving, and of course I told her no. She told me that she had smelled alcohol in my breath, and she told me to wait there a minute. 2 seconds later, there was a state trooper behind me with his lights on. I ended up in Lawrence County Jail that night. Drinking and driving is a life-threatening and expensive crime that can easily be avoided. I definitely have learned my lesson, but it should not have taken me that much time and that much effort to learn that. My expenses were about $5,000 and my license got suspended for a year. Now that I have my license back, I have a breathalyzer in my car and I have to blow into it every time I start it. Even if you don't drink and drive, you can still be in a lot of danger. Alcohol contributes to an enormous amount of deaths and car crashes every year. Many people think it is okay to drink and just have a few beers. Drinking impairs your judgment and makes you think that you're invincible. Drinking also leads you to drinking more, so once you have one drink, you think it's okay to have another. Before you know it, it's time to go home, and the biggest mistake that you can make is getting behind the wheel. Drinking and driving among U.S. seniors is an article from American Journal of Public Health Studies that states drinking and driving is the leading cause of death from people ages 15 through 20. In 2003, they did a poll and realized that 21% of people ages 15 through 20 have drinking and drove before. My friend Allie is a senior in my class, and her sister recently died from drinking and driving. She was in a car with 3 other people who all luckily made it through the accident. Even though they made it through, the man that was driving was charged with murder and will probably spend his whole life in jail. This is a very serious crime. Allie said that she learned not to drink and drive, but it should not have taken her this much for her to realize that. The best way around accidents of drinking is to not drive and not get behind the wheel at all after you have had a drink. One solution is to call a friend or a taxi if you already have drink and you need a ride home. No matter how you feel and no matter how much you have drank, it's always a good idea to call somebody to get a ride. Another solution is to arrange ahead of time. You can plan to not drink at all or plan to have a person come pick you up, or a DD, which is a designated driver, take you home. You can also have a family member or a friend planned ahead of time that you know will always give you a safe ride. I know that Lawrence has a system where if you need a safe bus, you can always call and you can always get a ride home. The best solution of all, though, is not to drink. The article, Evaluation of Underage Drinking and Driving Prevention Program from American Health Studies, states that parents are not very good motivators when it comes to motivating their kids not to drink and drive. This means that you yourself have to be your motivator. If you can't stand the peer pressure, you probably should just not go out at all. You should probably just stay home. Always think ahead of time because a fun night could end in a tragedy. Drinking and driving puts everybody on the road in danger. My advice to you is to know that you are not Hercules and you are not invincible.